Being summoned was a strange sensation. It was as if an unseen force was tugging at his soul with an irresistible pull. Okuluk didn't know what would happen if he tried to struggle against that force, nor did he have the need to do so. He knew who it was. Upon answering the call, his being rushed up from hell towards earth through a whirlpool-like tunnel. The next thing he could make out was a room stuffed with books and notes. He was standing in a circle, restraining him from moving freely. It was a highly uncomfortable sensation to be glued to the spot by that same invisible power. Standing in front of him, the demon recognized Lucifer, although his scars were concealed and golden eyes somewhat dimmer in their color. He looked mortal, which was unknown to Okuluk. Looking at himself, he realized that he looked quite mortal as well. There was no infernal glow. Spreading his wings, he sighed in relief. He still had those. Next to his king stood a middle-aged man with tawny hair and beard. The amber eyes looked friendly and open, and they were accompanied by a confident bearing. "You must be Okuluk," the man addressed the demon. Okuluk nodded with his eyes still fixed on the man. "I am Dean Calderwood." Seeing the man hold out his hand, Okuluk reached out to shake it as he had seen in one of the memories of a mortal. "I am sure you would be more comfortable outside the binding spell," Lucifer addressed the demon. "Can I trust you to not run off?" "Yes, my king." Okuluk nodded again. The spell vanished at once when Dean wiped away the lines of chalk on the ground. He hadn't felt it before, but his whole body had been tense while being bound by it, and the weakness let him sink to the floor. "Uncle Merelias!" The voice of a young woman came from below. A warm smile lit up the devil's face as he turned to leave the room. "Is Kathleen home too?" Lucifer asked Mr. Calderwood. "No, she got married to a gentleman in Inverness a little while ago." "Married? Already? Isn't that a bit sudden?" Mr. Calderwood grinned with a merry glint in his eyes. "I am sure she can handle herself and her husband. Why don't you go and have a look at her while I talk to your friend?" Lucifer glanced back at Okuluk before nodding. "Don't do anything stupid, Okuluk. I will find you if you do. Better to banish her out of your head once and for all. And yes, this is a clear order." With those last stern words, the devil went down to meet whomever had called for him. Okuluk looked back to the human in front of him. A satisfied expression had formed on his face as he waited for Lucifer to be on his way. "So," he started, "I'm supposed to talk you out of your little plan." "Yes, Mr. Calderwood," the demon mumbled. He had never met a living human, and the new situation made him careful and shy. Okuluk wasn't someone who was comfortable with many demons around, or in this case strangers. He liked his own, drawn-back company. He instinctively drew his wings close around his body to make himself feel safer. "Dean is quite fine. I'm not much for formalities." Dean spoke, taking his own chair to sit in front of the demon. "You are rather quiet for a fallen angel, aren't you?" Seeing the man study his chainmail and brace together with the knee-long boots, Okuluk drew his wings even closer. "You are an interesting one," Dean chuckled. "Have you met many demons?" Okuluk changed the subject away from himself. "I saw quite many already." A moment of uncomfortable silence was followed by Dean speaking again. "Merelias tells me you're thinking to have fallen in love." "I'm not thinking, I know what I feel." Fearful of a reprimand, Okuluk looked at Dean to apologize for his rashness. But Dean only looked at him with the same warm gaze. "He also wants me to explain to you that you should stop looking for her. He says it would endanger all of creation if you two met." Despair seized the demon at those words. Why had he come here? To hear more lectures about what he felt and not felt. "You see, Merelias doesn't want to make you miserable. He wants to protect the world from any peril. He never loved a woman in this certain way. It is difficult for him to understand that irrationality. Then why did he bring me here? If it's only to be as he wants. He is my king and I respect him, but what he demands is beyond my power. I know, Dean replied. Something in his tone made hope flicker to life in the demon's heart. Nor could I stand by as someone's heart withers. Dean got up and went to a cupboard with many drawers. But I want you to know the risks and dangers before we talk about my idea. Your idea? Occult echoed, still trying to understand the implication. Angels and demons are not supposed to be united in love, if I understand that right. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to fight and kill each other either, should the need arise. The question is, he went through several drawers before finding the right one through which he rummaged. How much unity in mind and body does it need? My theory is that seeing one another would do no harm. Finding an iron box, Dean took one of many falcon-colored feathers out of it. I want to give you a chance, behind Mereliah's back. I can't betray my king, Occult uttered distraught. He will never allow you to do it, Occult. The man looked into the demon's eyes for a while to let the words sink in. Sometimes, love requires rebellion. Taking a piece of chalk from his pocket, Dean drew another summoning circle on the ground. What are you doing? Occult asked when shyness yielded to curiosity. I'll summon a friend to help us. When you two meet, you will need someone to watch over you. If anything dangerous happens, I am sure he can prevent any damage before catastrophe can arise. The feather burned to ash when Dean worked the spell, and a tall angel with long anthracite hair appeared. Dean, the summoned angel said, amazed by the unpredicted call. Occult, meet Azazel. Occult still sat on the ground and stared up at the angel. You mean Azazel, the Watcher, yes. Azazel chimed in with his smooth voice. The deep blue eyes mustered the demon for a moment, trying to make sense of it all. It's rather unusual for you to summon me, Dean. What is this about? This demon needs your help. He wants to meet a female angel. Dean, Azazel uttered warily. To let a demon and an angel meet is no small thing. Have you thought this through? The Watcher spoke softly, but his words implored Dean to think about his plan again. Please, the demon took the word. I have to meet her, just this once. The blue eyes widened slightly when Azazel understood the meaning of the demon's wish. I see, he only said in a calm tone. What did you have in mind? He asked, turning to Dean. They have to meet on Earth. Anywhere else, and one of them would burst into flames. I need your expertise in the occult to keep an eye on them. If anything catastrophic starts happening, I need you to prevent it before it even starts. Azazel remained silent while pondering on the given facts. Yeah, I think that could work. The Watcher smiled when his eyes went back to Occult, whose heart threatened to jump out of his chest. You are a curious one indeed. Turning back to Dean, he asked, where and when? You will have to stick around a bit. Mereliah cannot know about this. He would tell us all how foolish we are. You will have to be my messenger. Dean cast the Watcher an apologetic look, but Azazel wasn't annoyed in the slightest. He actually seemed to be genuinely happy about being able to help. I'll see you soon then, Azazel spoke, pointing towards the window. Lucifer's almost here. Spreading his wings, the Watcher left the two alone until the devil came up the stairs a few minutes later. Dean quickly erased the last treacherous lines of chalk. I take it you are done talking, he addressed the two standing in the door. Kathleen is fine then? Her husband seems capable. so I will keep an eye on him for a while." Dean only laughed at the protective statement. Poor sod, having the devil watch his every thought. Occult got up but said nothing. The joy he felt inside almost made him burst, and the worst was that he had to conceal it from Lucifer. "Are you sure you won't give it a chance?" the demon asked with respect, but the devil remained adamant about the matter. "Time to go, mate," he approached the demon. "But I don't want to throw you back down, but I will do it." Occult's king spoke in a fatherly tone that accepted no other answer than a yes. The demon nodded, whereupon Lucifer opened a trapdoor to hell. They said their goodbyes, and Dean gave Occult an encouraging grin when Lucifer had already turned his back. Occult smiled back, feeling once again how hope rushed through his soul, and followed the stairs leading back home. "How are you feeling?" the devil asked from in front of the demon. "Quite well, actually." "Good. That's settled then," the king of hell replied, mistaking Occult's happiness for understanding. The demon went back to his task without delay. He didn't dare to take the telescope, although he sometimes managed a sudden, short peek upwards. All he could do now was wait for Dean and Azazel to notify him. A new basalt flow had covered the street, causing its surface to be bulky and difficult to cross at times due to the sharp fragments. Most of the magma had already cooled, turning the liquid into hard stone. Taking a pickaxe, he hacked down until the rock broke into pieces. With a shovel and a barrel, he transported the rock to a lava fall which came from the ceiling and disappeared below in the ground. With one jerk, he let the black rock fall back into the mass it had come from. After observing how the lump slowly melted in the hot stream, Occult returned. Having cleared the street, he dusted it off before getting a bucket of water. The only river in hell that didn't evaporate was close to the border to the earthly plane. The water was pleasantly warm, but not hot as it ran through the cracked and jointed basalt. Occult took the opportunity to wash himself and groom his feathers after the hard work. Filling the bucket, he went back, soaked as he was, to polish the street made of hard onyx. Hell wasn't such a bad place now that they had solid rock to protect themselves from the hellish fire and endless rivers of magma. He felt emotionally exhausted from meeting Dean and gaining new hope, and the warm rock beckoned him to lay down and rest for a bit. The noise of bare feet on smooth stone let Occult get up again. Azazel was already in front of him, staring down with a questioning look on his face. "Won't Lucifer know when you suddenly come down here?" the demon muttered upon rubbing his eyes and yawning from the relaxing warmth in his bones. "I am a watcher. I am in hell as well from time to time. I don't think he will grow suspicious just yet." Azazel looked around as if to reassure himself of them being alone. "He will summon you soon. I will need your help to find and contact her. We can't enter heaven, but I have an idea." Having delivered the message, the watcher went to the magma flow running parallel to the street. "Is that what you are doing? Herding magma?" "Yeah, I clean the streets when I'm not caring for a soul." "Interesting," came the answer when Azazel crouched down to take a closer look. "Indeed," Lucifer called out from afar, walking down the street. "What are you doing here, my vigilant friend?" "I'm doing some sightseeing in hell. No harm comes from that." Lucifer squinted his eyes before he countered the cunning statement with suspicion. "It's not you doing harm I am worried about, but you doing something foolish. And you, Occult, go back to work, or it's a side job at mopping hallways for you." Occult didn't take the harsh tone of his king to heart. He had won, he knew that, and the triumph let his soul leap just like it had the last time when Dean had promised to help.